Well, hello there, Shirley. How are you? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Well, I want you to introduce our special guest today.
This is my cousin Marla. I love her to death.
Love you too.
It's so nice to meet you, Marla.
Yes.
Sandy.
Well, we are sisters sharing
our heart with you. So glad you could join us today. This is a very, very special episode. And I think it's going to be one of my top ones, honestly. It's got so much beauty in it. It just really does. And I'm so excited.
A lot of your heart.
It has a lot of my heart.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's kind of like Finding Nemo.
It kind of is.
Yeah.
Maybe we should start with that. Sharing why it's like Finding Nemo.
Oh my goodness. It's been so interesting because I grew up with my parents who were the youngest of their families, and they both pulled away from both sides of the family. Mm-hmm. So I had my twin brother and my parents, and that's all I had for family.
For most of your life?
Most of my life.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't, and when you're a kid, you don't know.
Right.
You don't know.
You don't know that you have cousins or aunts or uncles or grandparents.
We knew she was around because we knew that her dad had married and had twins, but we didn't know where they were. They had just disappeared.
Wow.
So we always wondered, where did they go? And her grandmother, my great-grandmother, her grandmother, found them in San Diego County area and went down to visit one time, but and saw him, but for some reason there was some disconnect there. They weren't connected in any way, so, and didn't feel a part of each other's lives for some reason. So somehow they were lost again, and we never knew what happened. My dad would say, I wonder what happened to Uncle Lowell. I wonder what happened.
Yeah.
And she was saying, gosh, that's unusual. We don't have any family. So it was sort of like neither of us knew where anybody was.
Right. And it's actually her dad is actually my first cousin.
Yeah.
But Marla is we were trying to find each other. My best friend from Fallbrook, she was getting on Ancestry.com.
And I was doing a lot on Ancestry.com, finding different relatives, but in different countries we were connecting with. But I just put out there the family tree, and I put Lowell's name on it, and then I see connect to someone, and it has Lowell on the family tree. And I thought, oh, my heart started beating. I thought,
oh yeah,
oh my gosh, someone knows about Lowell. So I emailed her right away, and I said, I see your family tree has Lowell on it. Well, how find that? That's my family. How are you related? I mean, how are you connected? And she said, well, it's not me, it's a friend. She had me asked me to put the information out here.
Yeah.
So give me your information, and I will let her know.
Yes.
And she will contact you if she wants to.
Oh, so this was Shirley's friend.
Yes. So then I said, yes, please. I gave her all my information. I said, please tell whoever it is that is your friend that I would like to know who they are and find out about Lowell.
Yes. This happened in 2010. And the most amazing part about this is that I didn't realize until I was an adult that my grandmother was alive until I was 10 years old.
Yeah,
but I never got to meet any of my grandparents. Mm-hmm. And I think the other three had passed away, but my grandmother, Altabelle, was alive.
Yes, until you were 10.
Until I was 10. And I never got to meet any cousins or aunts and uncles, nothing.
And there were many that were alive
Yes.
while she was growing up. Many, my grandmother was her aunt,
Yes.
lived not far,
Yes.
San Diego County. And
so close, but yet so far away.
My parents were very private, so they never, I would ask occasionally about about family, but not much coming from that direction. They were kind of
They said there isn't really any family. They told you, right?
Right.
There wasn't
really any family around, and so I didn't get to know anything. And so I was hoping when I met Marla that she would have information, and she was hoping I would have information, though, because nobody knows why.
To help each
But what
other.
was
To help
so
each other.
beautiful was when she finally emailed me, and I said, who are you, where do you live, and all this, and I found out she was a believer,
Yes.
and she was a teacher like me,
Yes.
and that she lived in Temecula, not far,
Yes.
Wow.
and that I was going on a church women's retreat in Temecula like in a week,
Right.
and
Wow.
so I just felt
So
like
divine
the Lord,
appointment, right?
yes, the
Divine
Lord
appointment.
just orchestrated all of that.
Mhm.
So when we went out, we made a date to meet at a restaurant and talk, and I brought a bunch of family pictures, and you actually brought some too that
Yes.
you had.
Yes.
And so we got to sit and share and talk and find out how we were connected. And I said, so tell me, why did Lowell pull away from the family? And she says, no, I was hoping you would tell me. What happened? We're like, so we won't find out till we're in heaven.
Right.
So
What happened?
Lowell is your dad?
Lowell, yes, is my
Okay.
dad. He
Okay.
died in 1986, and then my mom passed away in 2010. Now Marla and her sister Diana Lou wanted to meet my mom, and we didn't know she was going to pass away a couple months later, but they came out and they got to see my mom. My mom was 97 at the time.
Wow.
And we sang hymns together.
Mm-hmm.
My mom was so happy.
Yeah.
We got pictures together
She
and a little
was
video.
beautiful.
I was so happy to get to connect with her
Yes.
before she passed.
Yes.
She would have been my great aunt. So
Yes,
I got
that's
to meet her
wonderful.
before she passed. So that was wonderful. My sister Diana Lou did too.
Yes.
That
was beautiful.
That was special. Yeah.
But we found out that we've been married the same amount of years.
Same
which is-
year?
Yep, same year.
1979.
So it'll be 42 years. You guys just celebrated. We're celebrating in a couple months. We're
We
both
were
the
born.
same age.
Yeah, we were born like a few weeks apart.
Oh,
Right.
wow.
Yeah.
Right?
We would have grown up together, playing
Yes.
together. We were
Yes.
just a few weeks apart.
Yeah.
So
we play now.
yeah, we're making up for lost time.
Yes, we are.
That's what
Isn't
you
that
should
something?
do.
I know. It's like God is so gracious to do this for us.
Amen.
I never knew that God could give me this.
But it's been such a fun, it's an unexpected gift.
Yes, it
Because
is.
I didn't know if we would find Lowell or I could have found your brher and
Yeah.
not have connected in the same way I would have
Right.
connected with you.
Right. Yeah.
But luckily he had a twin that was looking for family.
Right. And we're so much alike in so
Yeah.
many ways. And we're going to share with you some of the things that the adventure we've been on for the last, 11 years, I
Yeah.
guess. Right? Almost
That's-
12.
I can't believe it's been that long.
I know.
It still feels new.
Yeah.
Even though it feels very comfortable and familiar. And,
Yes.
and we have a very loving relationship now. It still
Yes.
feels new because we didn't get to grow up together.
So it's been 11 years that you got connected.
Right.
And you finally found out, oh, this is my cousin.
Yes.
And did you get to know other people at that point, like other family members that you didn't know you had?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
God,
you did?
Yes. Marla has. They have a huge family. The family.
You have a huge family.
Well, we have a yes.
We have
yes.
a huge family.
Yes, we have a huge family, and thank you, Jesus. I have gotten to meet some of them, and
Quite a few.
Yes, quite a few.
Uh-huh.
It's been
And it all
beautiful.
started with Ancestry.com.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny? But it
I
tells,
know,
yeah.
my aunt, she just found out that she had some siblings that she didn't know she had. And they're in their 80s, but
Oh yes.
boy, they've been getting together, and it's just been a wonderful experience for her because, and my aunt lives in Washington, but the other family was in Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of neat how they took a vacation and they were able to hook up with them.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
And it's amazing when you can find family through something like that.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Originally, I'd gone on Ancestry.com because my husband, when his mom was passing away, she gave me a letter that that my husband's father had kept for years and years and years. And as she was passing, she said, please see if you can find the relatives in Ireland and connect with them, because her mom was from Ireland and her
Wow.
husband's family was from
Ah.
Ireland. She said, please try to find, the Irish family. So from that letter, I plugged in some of the names and date and address, and a lot of searching. and we finally found a lot of information. So we flew over to Ireland probably a year later, and went to the churches that were mentioned, and went to a few places to see if we could find relatives, and we wound up finding family over there.
Wow.
That was really fun. So
Oh,
that's
you
how I
did?
got on Ancestry.com.
Oh, wonderful.
And so, but this was my happy gift.
Yes.
That was an unexpected gift that came out of all that. So that was
Yes.
really fun.
Yes. Well, I have a scripture to share, and the way God tied it in this morning for me, because I was like, I don't know what scripture to share for this, Lord, because this is just so different. It's just a different. A lot of people don't have to go through what I've gone through, but it's Psalm 119. Now, Psalm 119 is the longest chapter in the Bible. Very, very long. And I'm not going to read the whole thing. But there was some things in here I wanted to share. And it has a lot to do with the heart. So I did all my hearts, by anything that said heart for Psalm 119. This psalm, I read the Bible with Dee Dee. This is our 4th year reading through the Bible. And one of the years, what stood out to me in Psalm 119 is revive me. And for me, you don't know that you're in pain. You don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But until you realize you're in pain. And I didn't realize there was such an emptiness.
Mm-hmm. A feeling that you wished you could connect,
Yeah.
and
You
no
had
way to connect.
you had like a deep void.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that
Uh-huh.
until I knew. Until I met you.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. So
Joyful tears.
It is.
Joyful tears.
They
it's
are
all
joyful
joyful tears. And I always say thank you, Jesus, for letting me know Marla. But revive me. And I just wanted to share a scripture now that I can't see. Thank you. Oh my goodness.
I think this is going to have to be a lesson on patience. We're going to get through this, but the tears
Oh
are
my
good.
goodness. They're all
'Cause
beautiful.
The tears do cleanse you.
Yes, they do. Yeah, so we have to just let them come out when they come out. Okay, so there's a scripture in Psalm 119 that starts at 25. So I'm just going to read a section of it because it's quite a bit. And then I'm going to read you all the revive me's because they're beautiful in here. It says, my soul clings to the dust. Revive me according to your word. I have declared my ways, and you answered me. Teach me your statutes. Make me understand the way of your precepts. So shall I meditate on your wonderful works. My soul melts from heaviness. Strengthen me according to your word. Remove from me the way of lying, and grant me your law graciously. I have chosen the way of truth. Your judgments I have laid before me. I cling to your testimonies. O Lord, do not put me to shame. I will run the course of your commandments, for you shall enlarge my heart. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
That's a beautiful one.
Yes. Teach me, O Lord, the way of your statutes, and I shall keep it to the end. Give me understanding, and I shall keep your law. And indeed, I shall observe it with my whole heart. And I love this. I have everything that has to do with the heart. I always, put a little heart in my Bible because, God desires our heart.
Yeah.
And when we're going through painful things in our life, which everyone goes through painful things, we just have a different story.
Mm-hmm.
But he promises to revive us and to bring us. If
Yeah.
we keep calling on him
Yeah.
and asking for his help and understanding and knowledge, he's going to give us exactly what we need. So in Psalm 119, it says, revive me according to your word. I'm just going to read you all the revive me's. And revive me in your way. Revive me in your righteousness. Psalm 119 is very long. Okay, revive me according to your loving kindness. Revive me, O Lord, according to your word. It says that again.
Yep.
Yes. O Lord, revive me according to your justice. Revive me according to your word. So that says 3 times already about his word. Look how long this is. Revive me according to your judgments. Revive me, O Lord, according to your loving kindness. And there's one little verse in here. But my heart stands in awe of your word. I rejoice at your word as one who finds great treasure. I know, right?
That's a good one.
I love that because I think of Marla as being a treasure in my heart and just
Well, you're a treasure
a beautiful gift. Yeah, and so
We've been blessed.
Yeah, part of our adventure, because God did send us on an adventure together, and so every time we see each other, it's an adventure, and we just make it a beautiful adventure. So we're going to share with you lots of things that we do.
Yeah. First, can I share about the
Oh,
necklace?
yes, please.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so when my youngest daughter was getting married, I wanted to give her something old, something, you know how that old saying is, something old, something new, something borrowed, and something blue. So this was my great grandmother's cut crystal necklace, and it had 3 strands. Now it has 2.
Beautiful.
I took it to a jeweler, and I had them remove the long strand, so that when Shirley was coming to my daughter's wedding, I would have a bracelet for my daughter to wear in the wedding, something old, and one for Shirley, so she would have something
My
from her
bracelet?
grandmother.
It's the only thing I've ever gotten from any of my grandparents.
And yeah, and this would be from
Very
something
precious.
that she has from her grandma.
Yes.
So, and I gave one to my other daughter, Molly, too. So my 2 daughters and my cousin have a bracelet from
That's
her
beautiful.
necklace.
Precious.
So it's fun. So it still has 2 strands, but the third one is
Yes.
something special.
Sent out to.
I felt like
with
I was
love.
giving it, with
Yeah,
love.
sent out with love. Yes.
Yeah. So yes,
I love that.
And when she came to the wedding, she got to meet lots of relatives at the
Yes.
wedding. And
Yes.
that was
So much fun.
yeah, that was. I knew she'd have a ball. she got to meet another for my dad and
Yeah.
and his
And your mom
and Margene, his sisters, your other cousin,
Yes.
and you got to meet my whole family.
That is just amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it
Yeah.
was a special time. She got to meet a lot of relatives there.
Yeah. And you have a son and 2 daughters. I have a son and 2 daughters.
Yes.
So that's another
Isn't that
thing in
similar?
common.
huh.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Well, it looks like your treasure just keeps blossoming.
Right?
Right? Because it's like you both were searching.
Yes.
You both had this yearning,
Desire,
this void,
desire of our heart.
and you knew there was something missing.
yeah.
You didn't know what it really was because
No.
you just didn't know. You kind of did.
Yeah.
You knew, and then you were searching, and then you found each other, and that was the first wonderful treasure. And then you came together and to connect Shirley with her grandma,
Yeah.
you gave her a treasured gift
Yes.
of the necklace, and that was a beautiful symbol of, I feel, of Christ's love for us.
Yes.
You know, we are His jewels, we are His treasures
Yes.
as His women, His daughters of heaven, and He loves to love us
Yes.
and have that shared amongst us, and that's what you've done. You shared something that was from the past, and you made it present, and you connected her with her grandma, and I think
Yes.
that is a beautiful gift
Oh,
to have given. So there's a lot of spiritual
gave me-
meaning behind that.
and it gave me a lot of joy.
Of course it would, and it gives the Lord joy
Yes.
to bless His children, you know?
Yes.
But I think you have something to read to us, something that's very beautiful, that I think
Yeah.
would kind of bring together what's going to happen up here eventually. We're going to talk
Yeah.
about, but it's so beautiful because I feel like it blends us together.
Mm-hmm. It
Yes.
does. The greatest surprising gift to me was finding her and that she was a sister in the Lord.
Yes.
That was the
Yes.
gift. I couldn't believe that she was not only a woman my age, and she loved the Lord. That was like the topper.
Oh, no
she loved
kidding.
the Lord.
That would be
oh my
awesome.
gosh, right there we have common ground. This
Yeah.
is going to be good. So,
Yes.
so that was wonderful. But we have since, I grew up by the beach, so I've collected sea glass, off and on all my life. But in the last couple of years, probably, I've just kind of gotten back into it. A friend of mine had a bowl of sea glass on her edge of her counter, and I said, "That's so beautiful. I used to collect that when growing up, and
Right.
I think I'm going to start doing that again. I never thought of putting out the collection."
Right.
So
Here you go. Here it is.
So then I started collecting sea glass again and got my grandkids into it. And
Yes.
Shirley started coming to the beach with us.
Yes.
And said, "I want to do that." So
Yes.
she started collecting sea glass. And so it's been a really fun adventure for us, going to different beaches and collecting sea glass. And that's a treasure from the sea. It's when it goes into the sea, it's usually broken and sharp, and it takes 30, 50, 100 years. Some of them have been tossed in the water for a long time before it becomes sea
Wow.
glass.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, people
That's
think, oh, it's just a
incredible.
year or so. No, it takes
long
many years.
time.
I mean, 10 years it's starting to become a little patina on it, but really the best sea glass is 30 to 50 years old. And some
Wow.
pieces you'll find are 100 years old.
Wow.
Like, old Japanese glass floats from their fishing nets
Yes,
that break.
I've seen
And
those.
they come and float in, and those are like from 100 years ago. Shipwrecks and things, you can find pieces of old lanterns from old ships.
Wow.
Yeah.
And if you take it to someone who knows sea glass, they can help you identify some special pieces to where it comes from. This book, can you show
The
the
book? Yes.
Yes.
There's a book, and that has just been such a joy to read, because this lady, she knows her sea glass. She's like the expert, and you can write to her and say, "I have this unusual piece," and a picture, and she can tell you that looks like the color that comes from the Caribbean. They have colorful windows. You'll find this special kind of bubble in it, and that's how I know it's from the Caribbean. I mean, she
Wow.
knows her glass.
Wow.
She can kind of tell you some of the stories behind some of it.
And what is her name again?
Mary Beth Buki, I think is how you pronounce it. And
All right.
So great.
so it's been a fun book to look through. She has lots of fun stories and ways to identify sea glass and just all kinds of interesting information. So I just gave that to Shirley
Yes.
for fun,
Yes.
so she can have fun looking through that. It's kind of the Bible of sea glass.
That's awesome.
But we've
Thank
had
you.
a lot of fun. You're so welcome. It's fun. But we've been collecting all kinds of beautiful sea glass, and when it is finished, it is smooth all the way around. It's frosted,
Yes.
and it looks like a jewel from the sea. The ocean has made it into a jewel. And my grandkids, when they're collecting sea glass, sometimes will bring broken, sharp pieces and say, "I found sea glass." And I'll say, "Well, it's a broken piece of glass, but it's not sea glass yet. It has to go back in and
Through
finish
the process.
its time."
Oh,
Yes.
it has to be smooth.
It hasn't finished yet. It hasn't finished becoming sea glass.
Okay, because I'm getting new now. Shirley got me hooked, and we just became friends a year ago. But
Yeah.
she's a sister to me.
Yes.
And so now I'm finding sea glass, and if it's smooth, smooth like you say, then I know it's real sea glass.
Yeah. And frosted.
and frosted.
And frosted. Okay.
So sometimes you find sea glass and it's smooth and frosted everywhere, and then it's chinked off at the back, like it struck a rock on a wave coming in.
Uh-huh.
And so it's not really a piece of sea glass. Again, it's got to go back out and get completely smooth. And I have a couple pieces where I can see it was broken and then smoothed again. It's not quite the same as the rest of the piece. So
Yeah.
it's fun to see how. It
Right.
kind of reminds me of God. We think we're finished, and He's like, "Nope, not finished yet. Back in."
Oh, back in.
And a little more tumbling around, smoothing the edges, becoming refined until it actually becomes a piece of beautiful, finished, smooth sea glass that's been through a lot of waves and a big, long journey.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Kind of like what we go through.
Right.
Yeah. Very much
We
so.
go through lots
Yes.
of journeys, and
I find that I talk to the
Excuse
Lord
me.
a lot while I'm sea glass hunting.
Yes.
yes.
And I know you do too.
Yeah.
We talk
Right.
to the Lord like, "Oh Lord, this is beautiful," and
Yes.
oh, I'd love to find whatever color this today, and it's a quiet hobby. So you're walking along the beach, and
Yes.
you're enjoying nature, you're enjoying of what God's given us.
Right.
And so it's just kind of makes you commune with God as you're walking along. At least I do. So
Right.
I enjoy that.
Can you reach the necklaces over there, Shirley?
Yes.
I'd like to show those there.
Okay.
Absolutely. And I want you to talk a little bit, elaborate a little bit on what you've done with them. I
Okay.
can hold that up for you.
Thank you. Well, these are some sea glass necklaces that I've made. And I don't know if you can see them, but
We're going to show a picture
okay,
too at the end.
Okay, so when they become completely smooth on all the edges, this is one I was telling you about, it was broken on one edge and then re-smoothed again. But some of them I just love to hold them and feel them because they've become so smooth.
They
The
are
edges-
beautiful.
The edges are so smooth and they're cool and smooth and they come in beautiful colors. So some people call them mermaid tears. And other people call them jewels of the sea.
Yes.
Yeah, there you
Right.
go.
And that's what happens
Yeah.
in my mind when they've been tossed by the waves and for
Yes.
so many years
Yes.
and become so smooth and such a beautiful frosted patina. It is a jewel, and I've seen many sea glass necklaces for sale, and in Laguna Beach I've seen them, and I'm surprised how much they are because they're valued. And sea glass is becoming more and more rare because it used to be that people dumped all the garbage and trash into the ocean. I know there's a place up north where they took and bulldozed all the trash into the ocean.
Whoa.
And there's a beach up there called Sea Glass Beach because all of that, they ended it in the 60s or 70s, I think. But all of that glass has been washed ashore on the coves that are nearby.
Oh, yeah.
And people go up and collect it. Now it's protected. You're not allowed to take it. It's called Sea Glass Beach. But they're saying it's becoming more and more rare because people are not, we don't throw trash in the ocean anymore. And also a lot of things are packaged in plastic now.
That's
And
true.
All the Coke bottles used to be glass and all the
Wow.
jars of things used to
You're
be
right.
glass.
That's true.
Plastic. So we are having a lot less glass going to the sea. And there's a lot of people who've discovered sea glass hunting. And when we get down to the beach, we see people ahead of us that have picked up all the good sea glass. We're darn. So we know that it's become a really popular hobby in the
Yes.
last few years. And so for all these reasons, sea glass is becoming more and more rare. So if you find a piece, it is a treasure.
It is.
So you found these, correct? These
Yes.
pieces,
At
and
different
then
coves.
you've made them into necklaces
Mhm.
and given them as gifts and stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How wonderful.
My beautiful pieces that I treasure. I just want to wear them, and like I said, they're fun to feel. They're so smooth
Yeah,
and cool. They're
yeah,
just,
they are.
It's a wonderful reminder too to know that God is working off all the edges in our life.
Yeah,
and
He's
making
trying
us
to
smooth
smooth
and
it out.
beautiful
Mhm.
for Him.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
That's
Yeah.
fun.
Oh,
And I love all the fun colors. I mean, to me, it is like finding a piece of jewelry. When I pick up
Yes.
a beautiful piece, I get so excited. You know,
Yes.
the color and the smoothness and and I know they sell fake sea glass online. They put it in a rock tumbler and smooth it all out.
Oh, yeah.
And you can buy it, instant made sea glass. It takes a while to tumble it still, but it doesn't have the same kind of frosted finish on it. It's frosted, but it's different. It doesn't have the pitting and the chemicals of the sea. The
right,
pH
and
of
all
the
the
sea gives
sand
it a
and
different,
much different.
gives it a different patina, and you can tell the difference. And to the person who doesn't know, they think
wouldn't
it all.
know.
Yeah,
Right,
they just think it's
right.
the same. But someone who collects real sea glass would look at it and say, I can tell that's not a real piece of sea glass. It's not genuine.
Yeah.
So, but it's been fun learning about sea glass. It's been a fun journey for me too. But my younger sister April found this and sent it to me, and it spoke to my heart so much. So I looked up the author and I emailed her and I said, that really spoke to my heart. And I've seen several different versions online when I looked it up. And I asked her what her original version was, and she hasn't emailed me back. But I did look on her website and I found this. So I believe this is her original version, and it just was beautiful and it spoke to my heart and I wanted to share it. It says, I want to age like sea glass, smooth by the tides, not broken. I want to ride the waves, go with the flow, and feel the impact of the surging tides. When I am caught between the rocks and a hard place, I will rest. And when I am ready, I will catch a wave and let it carry me where I belong. I want to be picked up and held gently by those who delight in my well-deserved and well-earned patina, and appreciate the changes I went through to achieve this luster. I want to enjoy the journey and let my preciousness be, not in spite of the impacts, but because of them. I want to age like sea glass.
Oh, that is beautiful.
Yes.
That is really beautiful.
Yeah. And it really is a picture of life, I think.
Yes,
Just how we go
it
through
is.
life, and there are impacts, and then sometimes we go through a wonderful time, we just go with the flow, ride the waves and
Yes,
surge, and
yes.
other times we're tossed down and we're broken a little bit, but not completely, and then we're smoothed again. We go through all life, and I just,
And there's times of rest.
and there's times
resting.
of rest between
Yes.
a rock and a
Right,
hard place.
Yes.
right.
To
Just
rest,
rest and
seek the Lord, wait and see
Just
what He
wait
has
and
for
see
us.
what He has for you.
What's the next part of our journey?
yeah.
And I love it that sea glass takes so long to finish. And, when you find a piece that's been in the ocean 30 or 50 or 100 years, I think that's just like us,
Yeah.
It takes a long time
It sure
to
does.
smooth our edges
It does, it
and
does.
refine us and give us that beautiful luster and patina that we want to be like Christ.
Yes. That's
That's
so
really
true.
beautiful.
We Stephanie gave me a sea glass necklace, cobalt blue.
Oh, beautiful.
Yes, for Mother's Day.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
Wonderful.
So cobalt blue is like it's bright blue and it's so beautiful. It's striking,
It's
actually.
this color.
Yeah.
It's this cobalt blue. When you find a piece of cobalt blue sea glass, it is really fun.
Yes.
And it's not one of the most rare, but it's definitely one of the rare colors.
Mhm.
And it is a fun find.
I know.
We found a few pieces and
Yeah.
get very excited when we
Oh, yes.
found a piece.
Yeah, well, didn't you find a pink?
Yes.
Oh
And
yes.
that was pretty exciting, wasn't it?
Yes, that was fun. It was a part of a bottle stopper, maybe an old perfume bottle stopper or
Oh,
something.
okay.
The top is broken off, but the perfectly rounded stopper part is what I found.
Fit right in
and
there.
it was pink, and that's a rare color. And that was a very fun find.
Oh, I bet it's like so fun to go out there and you're watching and looking and
Yeah.
digging, and all of a sudden something catches your eye, and you
Right.
just, it's
And
like-
that's been the thing. She's been training me on how to spot them because I would be picking up, I don't know what I'd be picking up, but she'd go, oh, that's not sea glass. It's a rock, but it looks almost like sea glass.
It's beautiful, clear.
Yeah.
It looks like glass, but when you look at it, you can see the lines, the rock. You can see that it's a rock, but when you hold it
Yeah.
up, it's almost clear like glass, so you get fooled.
Yeah, they had that up in the Oregon Beach where I spent some time with my sister, and they were called agates.
Oh.
And they had they had like gold colored ones, and they had the
Ooh,
clear, the white.
Uh-huh.
So, and you're right, when you look at it really close, you can tell it's a rock.
Yeah.
And, I did find a few pieces of sea glass, but
Yeah.
it was so much fun.
But
This is
she's so
clear-
good at
clear
spotting
quartz. It's quartz, and it looks like glass. And sea glass or glass is made from melted sand. So I love that.
That's
when
true.
That when we find sea glass on the beach, it's almost like returned to where it originally came from.
Interesting.
So that's kind of fun. But so quartz is a piece of glass like rock, but it is a rock. It's never been melted into glass. But I found a couple pieces of fun glass at Doheny Beach that were bonfire glass, and I don't know if you've heard of that, but it's glass that's been in a fire, either in a bonfire or it's melted, and it's got several melted, dirty pieces all together, and you can see like greens melded with orange, and then a little bit of brown.
Oh, how interesting.
So yeah, it's very fun. When you find a piece like that, it's a treasure.
Yeah. Billy and Jesse had given me one year a book on sand. And this man, I don't remember exactly the name, but maybe I can post it at the end. But it's, he does a magnifying so you can see the piece of sand. And it's little tiny pieces of shell and vertebrae from the sea life
Mhm.
and glass.
Mhm.
I mean, and you get to see it
magnified. so you can
Magnified.
see.
It's beautiful.
Oh,
Wow.
interesting.
And the different, and he can spot it just like you were saying, the different oceans that it's coming from.
Yeah.
He knows where it's coming from.
Mhm.
It's amazing. It's so beautiful to see it close up. And
Oh, I
a lot of
bet.
the shells are just in their exact form.
Wow.
I know.
Miniature.
Miniature.
Wow, that would be fun to see. I'd
The
have to see
sands
that
of the
one sometime.
sea. Yes.
That would be fun to see.
Sands of the
That's
sea.
interesting.
Yeah, it's
Very
it's
interesting.
actually beautiful. And then all the verses that God talks about the sands, the sands of the sea and how,
Right.
it's like you just go, wow.
Yeah.
We're so special.
Well, we are.
Yeah.
We are totally.
Yeah,
It's totally-
amazing. Yeah, we try to get to different beaches just to see what we can see, but it's the ones that crash right at the shore that kicks it up, right?
Yeah.
Is that how
Mhm.
it would
Yeah,
be explained?
usually, and after storms is
Yeah,
the best
oh, yes.
time because it's turned up
Yes.
and the currents have pulled things from the ocean
That's
that I see
true.
out there. So after storm, sea glass hunters hit the beach because they know that things will be coming on shore that haven't seen the shore for who knows how many years.
Right?
So it's kind of fun.
So do you do a lot of your sea glass hunting here where you live in this area?
Yes, yeah. All my sea glass has been found in Laguna Beach and in Dana Point.
Oh,
Yeah. I don't think I don't think I've gone hunting anywhere else.
Yeah.
So pretty much,
Wow.
there's lots of beaches in Laguna Beach that I've been to. Beautiful
Yeah.
coves all along there.
yeah, there
rocky,
is.
And
Yeah.
the rocky areas are what capture the sea glass and the stones. So wherever you see a lot of pebbles and seashells all over the beach, that's a
Yeah.
good place to look
Place
for
to look.
sea glass.
Right.
Interesting.
And
Well,
Doheny
even in
has a lot.
lakes. I mean, I found
yeah.
stuff in lakes
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Now it's let's see, Mary Beth Buki talks about it in the book. So you can find sea glass in rivers and lakes.
Yes.
It's made there too.
I didn't
It
know
has
that.
a slightly different patina to it because it's got a different pH, and
Oh.
so it's a slightly different kind of a finish on it.
Interesting.
But you can find it, and it's called beach glass. So if you find it river or lake, it's called beach glass.
Okay.
And only the ocean is called sea glass.
Okay.
So
Oh.
they also call ocean glass beach glass. So all of it can be beach glass, but
Okay.
only the ocean is sea glass.
Okay.
That's
Oh, I
what
didn't know
that's
that.
what I've been told. So
Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
yeah.
So every time I come out with sea glass hunting with Marla, I learn some more information because I want to be good at what I do because I usually pick up and it's nothing.
Oh, you have some beautiful.
I do.
These
Yeah.
on the table,
Yeah.
laying loose on the table. Those are all hers.
I
And she
do
has some
have.
beautiful
I do
pieces.
have a bunch.
It's just a lot more too. Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot more.
It's
So.
been so much fun to do that. It's
Yeah.
been the best part, I think.
And
Our
you-
time together at the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you found some of San Diego too. San Diego
Yeah,
beaches.
I
some?
have.
Yeah.
Yeah, not as much, but it's okay.
Well,
I'm happy for
how,
whatever
when
I
you
get.
go beach hunting, do you use any special instruments or?
Well,
Just-
we usually just bend and pick up really quickly, but you can find it along the shoreline, and it's usually where the heavier things are being thrown up. Like some people start looking where the seaweed and stuff is, but actually lightweight things that are thrown up, you don't want to look in that line of flotsam jetsam. You want to look in the line where there's little pebbles and shells, the heavier things.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
So if you're looking up there where there's little fluffy things, you aren't probably, I mean, you might find a piece of sea glass, but that's not the best place to look.
Right,
The best place is
right.
where the heavier pieces are thrown up and stayed.
Okay.
So, and then also you can look in the water. Sometimes you can actually see it in the water getting churned up and thrown.
Oh,
And we stand in the water and we look down when it's clear, and you can reach down and grab some before it, because sometimes it doesn't get thrown up, it just hangs where it's getting turned with the waves, and it doesn't actually come up. So some days it's better standing in the
Yeah.
water,
Yeah.
and sometimes we have these sieves that we've got, little
oh yeah, I was
sieves.
going to ask
Right.
you about that.
The sand sieves.
Yeah, and my grandson was
Yeah.
using it the other day. He was going down in the water and getting a huge scoop of what we were walking on. We could feel pebbles and shells and things
Sure.
under our feet.
Right.
He scooped and he came up with a beautiful aqua blue piece.
Oh, wow.
All smooth and perfect. It was beautiful. And he
How
found lots of other
wonderful.
pieces that were not quite as good, but really nice ones too. And he found greens and browns and clears. So So sometimes doing the shaking the sand, scooping it is a fun way too. So.
Yeah.
How fun.
And just recently, because a friend was visiting from another state, and her mom was visiting from Florida, and she collects shark teeth and shells and things like that in Florida. And she used this little scooper, a telescoping sieve, so she didn't have to bend down. She could just walk along and scoop things up. And I'd never seen anything like that. And she was telling me, yeah, you should get one. They're really quite nice. So anyway, I looked online and I ordered one. And wouldn't you know, right after she told me about it, the next couple times I went sea glass hunting, there were people with them.
Oh, how
I've never
funny.
seen them before. And then after she tells me,
Tells me.
then I start to see them.
Isn't that funny?
So anyway, I ordered one, and it's got a telescoping long handle with a scoop at the end that's a sieve. So sometimes you see a piece in the water and it's going so fast you
Right?
can't get it.
Can't
It
get
gets
it.
away from you. So this way I can reach with a scoop
Yes.
and grab it before it
Love
gets
it.
away.
Can't wait.
So that's my newest fun tool.
I can't wait.
Oh, that's good.
I just got one for Shirley too, so we can do it together.
We'll have to get a picture of that.
Yeah.
That's cute. I love it.
So yeah.
So exciting.
So as far as tools go, you really don't need any tools.
No.
Just walking along and looking. But as I've gotten a little older, my eyes, now I need to wear glasses. So that's one of my new sea glass tools. I need glasses.
Yeah, I
now,
get
darn
it. I know, it's like,
Oh my goodness. So much fun. And your little grandson, he's so good at he can get so many pieces, and then you guys go out on the rocks.
Yeah,
Sometimes.
there's some great places we found in rocky outcroppings where there's tide pools.
oh yeah.
Yes.
And there's certain places that we know on these rocky areas where we know to go to look.
Yes.
My
They get caught.
my
They get
grandson
caught
Peyton
there.
is good
Yes.
at finding. But all my grandchildren, some of these jars are my grandchildren's sea
Yes.
glasses that
Oh,
they go
how
sea glass
cute.
collecting with me.
Yes.
And
Oh,
they each have
nice.
their sea glass jar, and I keep them in the windowsills of my kitchen so the sunlight shines
Oh,
through,
how beautiful.
and it shows the beautiful colors that they found. So.
Yes. I can't wait to share that with my grandkids. That'll be such a fun experience. And also, I think all of us collect heart rocks and
Yes, I
heart
do.
shells.
I've done that for years.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I do driftwood. Do you guys do driftwood at all?
I don't do driftwood so much.
Okay,
but
I do driftwood.
I only use driftwood
Sand.
if I'm doing a craft and I
Yeah.
need a piece of driftwood.
Right,
for it,
right,
but I don't
right.
collect it, but
Yeah.
I do collect heart rocks, and my
Yeah.
husband's collected heart rocks for me for years.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
one time we were at
Special.
Catalina, we were kayaking, and he was snorkeling around me, and he dove way down. The water's so clear at Catalina,
Oh.
and up he comes with this white, big heart rock, big
Oh
white one.
my goodness.
And he said, I saw it down there, so I had to dive down and get
Oh,
it for you.
that was so
So I still
sweet.
have that. That was
That's
sweet.
so sweet.
Yeah.
But Bill gave me one. It's a hard rock. But it's small, But at the very start of our marriage, it was while we were dating, I believe. He gave it to me, so I still have it.
that's
It's beautiful.
sweet.
It's something about just having it sit there. It's like God's just giving you a special treasure.
Yes.
Yeah, it
For
is.
you to keep.
And it's amazing that they turn into hearts, a lot of the
Yeah,
rocks.
it's like
I don't know how that happens.
that's amazing.
Well, it's interesting. I don't know how it happens either, but I know sea glass, you can find sea glass hearts because when they break, a lot of glass breaks in
Yeah.
triangular shapes. So sometimes it gets nicked in the triangular shape and it actually wears into hearts. And I have one little bowl that I have in the kitchen of all little sea glass hearts.
Oh,
So every time I
we
find
got a
this,
picture of that.
every time I find a little piece of sea glass that's a heart, I put it in
Put
that
it in
separate
there.
little bowl. So it's just
It's
a small
perfect.
bowl I'm collecting, but I love
Oh
those
my
sea glass
goodness,
hearts.
how
That's
fun.
my rare, and they're
that's-
never perfect hearts. They're
That's all
always
right.
slightly
Yeah, mine aren't
irregular.
either. Mine aren't either.
Yeah.
And,
That's awesome.
and that's I think special too because
Yes.
they're all a little different.
Yes.
And they're never perfect.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just fun.
Right.
having them.
And you know what? We have to share about our little sweet pea adventures.
Yeah, that's right. I was. My daughter Molly lives in San Juan, and she told us about some sweet pea fields that were near her house. So I went sweet pea collecting with her one year. So ever after that, I go to the fields and collect these sweet peas.
Aren't
And I-
they pretty?
And
Aw.
this is the last of my sweet peas. The last few, they're going to seed. So I've been collecting all the pods, and there's a few pods on this as well. They're starting to turn into pods. now, and they'll seeds. But as they make their pods in brown, they split, and the pods twist and shoot the seeds out. It's the most interesting thing. So my daughter Megan and I were collecting seeds one year, and as we were picking the pods, they would split open, pop in our hand, and both sides of the pod would curl into corkscrews as they were spitting out the seeds. And we were in awe. We were like, oh my gosh, we're watching it happen, you know. And so it was really fun. We collected a lot of seeds. So I brought them home and I planted them at my house. And for a couple of years now, they just reseed themselves. Every year they come back, and I get the most beautiful crop of
I
sweet
love
peas.
it.
I only have pink and purple, but at the fields they have red and white and salmon color. Oh my gosh, they have so many beautiful colors over there.
My
Lavender.
mom used to have those
Yeah.
in her bed. She would have kind of the unusual things, like she'd have lily of the valley.
Oh,
and
beautiful.
she would have just, you know, the special things.
Wow.
And you don't see a lot of that when you
Right.
go to buy plants.
They're old-fashioned.
Yeah, I
flowers.
love the old-fashioned flowers.
Is there so I have a little
I
bag
love
for
them.
my cousin.
So I saved a bunch of sweet
Yay.
pea seeds from I was harvesting
Yay.
them, and so you can see there are a whole bunch of little tiny round black seeds. And I collected a whole bunch this year. For next year, I'm going to reseed them somewhere else. They're already reseeding where they're growing now, but I want to put them so they grow in another area next year too. So I collected a whole bunch, and I saved a baggie for Shirley too, so she can plant some.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Love you.
Isn't
that fun?
No, it's a lot of fun. But I love sweet peas because they smell just heavenly.
Oh, they do.
Yes, they are just the most sweet fragrance, and they are sweet. I mean, they're just so precious looking. And I call all my kids, as they were growing up, and I still do, and my grandkids, I call them Sweet Pea.
Oh,
So,
that's sweet.
yeah, so I say, hi, Sweet Pea.
Yeah.
And so I think that's why they're special to me too, that I call my kids and grandkids
Yeah.
Sweet Pea.
Yeah.
So
We have to be
special.
careful
So-
around animals too, but right, because they can't be around animals if they can't eat them. Because I think they're poisonous to animals.
I didn't know that. I hadn't remembered
But
that.
I should check that again.
Yeah.
But just double check.
Yeah.
Double check.
But that's been fun to share with you.
Yes.
We got to go sweet pea.
Oh my goodness.
She drove in and we went sweet pea picking out in the fields,
Yes.
and we
Gathered
took
our
pictures. It
flowers.
was fun.
I
Brought
love
home
that.
vases of flowers.
Yeah. We've gone to like nurseries and checking things out, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's been fun.
That's so much fun doing that.
Yeah.
In July in Idaho, I would fly up to see my mom when she was still alive, and we would go to the lavender fields.
Oh, that's so fun.
And it was
Yes.
fun because you know, they would have like lavender spread sandwiches,
Oh,
lavender
honey.
honey. They would have lavender
The spray.
brownies,
Yes.
lavender lemonade.
Lavender.
So you
and
could sit under these big
Ice cream.
oak trees
Lavender ice cream.
and
right?
have your little lunch.
Yes.
Oh, fun.
And then they would give you a basket, and you could go out and
Aw.
with the bees and pick your lavender.
Aw.
And what city did you
It's
go?
called Emmett, Idaho,
Emmett, Idaho.
and it was this old farm,
Yeah.
big white barn and house, and they would do it every I think it was every July. My mom would give her the newspaper, and
Yeah.
I'd make a trip and go up, and
Oh, fun.
it was so fun.
Oh, that's special
Yeah.
memories.
It is,
Yeah.
and that's what this is all about.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're making memories. You guys found each other,
Yeah.
and you know you're introducing fun things that are free,
Yeah. Free, and we
free,
get,
and you get
to-
activity at the same
Yes.
time. You get your vitamin D. You know, so it's healthy for you what
Yeah.
you're doing.
And it's
Yeah.
so fun to give.
And isn't it?
I love gathering all the flowers and taking them to people.
Yes.
And taking my parents
Yes.
and different people. I bring sweet pea bouquets, and
Mhm.
so I love sharing.
And then
that.
even like with this, the glass,
and the sea glass.
how you've made gifts for people, you know,
So
and
much share.
all kinds of stuff. It's just, it's really a wonderful thing to share.
And this is the book for. Tell us about the book.
Okay, so we looked online and found some books that were about. Actually, my daughter's friend that just moved back to, I think, North Carolina, I think, and her mom came out to visit and showed me the tool for sea glass collecting.
Oh,
Yeah.
So when her friend was moving back to North Carolina, she gifted my daughter with some sea glass books for children.
Oh,
Oh,
And
wonderful.
they were so cute. One of them was, two of them are called Sea Glass Summer, and one's about a little girl with her grandma. Different authors, just happen to have the same title. One's about a little girl collecting sea glass with her grandmother for one summer, and this one is about a little boy. This one actually was not gifted from her. This one was from my daughter. Found that online because she has 3 sons, and she wanted a book about a little boy collecting sea glass. So she found this one, and it was so cute. So I ordered one for myself too to read to my
I
grandchildren.
love it.
So I have a book on a little girl with her grandma, and another one that's a little boy.
Oh.
And this is actually sweet because at the end of this book, the little boy has his grandfather's magnifying glass.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
And he winds up accidentally breaking it, so he puts it into the sea. And
Oh.
then years later, he spends the summer with his grandma. Years later, he's in the same cottage with his granddaughter, and she finds this unusual piece of clear sea glass, and it's different because probably from the magnifying glass, we're led to believe. And she is his granddaughter looking at it, and as she goes to sleep at night, she's in the same bed with the same nightstand and the sea glass sitting on the nightstand, just like her grandfather had been when he was young. So it's really cute. So it does end up with the little girl finding sea glass
I
in the
love
story too.
That's
a cute
special.
one.
Oh,
Yeah.
darling.
So they're on Amazon. There's several different kinds
Okay,
of books.
here I go.
Special.
That's so nice.
Oh my goodness, how fun
I
is
love
that?
it.
But all my grandkids have this sea glass here now, and it's just been a joy sharing it with them. And
And that's something they will always remember, that you took time
Right.
to walk out on the beach and
It's
show
very
them.
peaceful.
And
you
those
know?
memories will stay with them forever.
Ever.
Even when they become adults and have kids.
Yeah.
And kids love to go treasure hunting,
Yes.
and that's what it is, a big treasure hunt.
Yep.
And they all love it, and so it's been fun. And they've made I've taken them to the bead store and the jewelry store, and they've been able to make some of their pieces into jewelry for their moms for
Oh,
Mother's
sweet.
Day or birthdays, and so that's been fun. Or themselves, my 2 granddaughters. I have 7 grandsons and 2 granddaughters, and
Okay.
my 2 granddaughters have each made necklaces for themselves as well. So
Aww.
it's just
special.
something fun to share.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
I
I'm
love
going
it.
to take Shirley to the bead shop so she can make a necklace.
Yes.
Some of this
Sounds
too.
wonderful.
It's gonna be fun. That's gonna be so much fun. Wow.
Making memories and sharing.
I know,
sharing
right?
together. Yeah.
Well, we got a lot more life left, and we're gonna
We do.
figure out some more things to do.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
love it.
It's an adventure. And we both love to swim, so it's been
Yes.
fun swimming at the beach.
Right. We're both beach gals. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yep.
Yeah, all 3 of us are.
Yep. I'm getting there. I was raised on a farm, but I used to meander down by the little creek that we had.
Yeah.
And I'd always try to find, rocks and different stuff. So
Yeah.
Treasure hunting.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
nice. And I
So-
know, like, a lot of the beaches are state beaches, so you're not allowed to actually take home shells or rocks or anything, but the sea glass you're allowed to take.
Yes.
Because
yes.
it's not actually,
I think, what you're saying is that, like, Laguna Beach is a marine protected sanctuary.
correct. Yes.
So in the areas that are marine sanctuaries, you can't take anything that's natural from it. You can't take
Oh, right.
seashells, rocks,
Nothing.
seaweed.
You're not supposed to touch
nothing
anything.
that nature has put there.
Right.
But then,
But you can pick up sea glass because that's not nature.
Right.
That's something man's put in and it's
put
come
in there,
back.
and nature has made it beautiful.
Nature's made it beautiful, and actually did originally come from sand, but
That's
we won't
true.
tell them that.
Mom's the word.
we are so happy that we're allowed to collect sea glass
Yes.
on the beaches in Laguna and as well in Dana Point. Dana Point's not a marine sanctuary.
Yeah.
Maybe one of the beaches is, but most of the beaches are open to
Open.
collecting. Yeah.
Okay.
You collect
that's so nice.
seashells and driftwood and
Oh, I'm just so happy
sea
when
glass.
you should see me when I'm coming out to visit you and go to the beach. I have all my windows open. I have the message on. It was singing praises to the Lord. I have my hair's down and flying all over the place. I'm just like, whoa!
She's heading to her
I'm
happy place.
so happy when I come out here. It's
To the
it's
beach.
just my happy spot with my happy cousin.
That
We
is
get to do
so
fun things
wonderful.
together.
That's
Yeah,
wonderful.
It is. It's
That's
a beautiful
really-
every time. I'm just so excited.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so thank you for sharing.
Yes, thank
Yeah.
you, girls,
Yeah.
both of you.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
thank you.
I love the treasures and all the different stuff, and
Yeah.
Find that you found
Yeah.
each other.
I know.
That's the greatest treasure, like you said, Shirley,
That's the
was
biggest
that you
treasure.
found each other.
Right.
And that we're sisters in the Lord.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
And
That
I
was
will
the
get to-
wonderful bonus.
Yes, and I get to meet my family one day in heaven, and
Yep.
so they'll all be waiting for me, I'm sure.
Yeah.
With open arms.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm excited about that. But we're excited that you got to join our show today.
Yes.
Find your family. If you don't know where they are, put a little effort in there and try to see, because they might be looking for you.
That's true.
Right?
Yep. And
Well, you
happy
didn't know
to.
she was looking for
No.
No.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Didn't know she had family, didn't know family was looking.
Yeah.
Right? So you don't know. And God might have a divine appointment set up just for you. So, yeah, make the effort to do
That's
that.
right.
It's
That's
so
right.
special. And we're so excited that you got to join us today and hear our story.
Thanks for letting me be a part of it.
Yes.
Oh, thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Thank
God,
you.
Yeah. God bless you.
God
Have
bless.
a beautiful
Till
day.
we see you again next
Okay.
week.
God bless
Go
you.
find some sea glass.
Yes, right.
Go for it, Dad.
When you are plagued by persistent problems, one that goes on and on, view it as a rich opportunity. An ongoing problem is like a tutor who is always by your side. The learning possibilities are limited only by your willingness to be teachable. In faith, thank you for your problem. Ask me to open your eyes and your heart to all that I see. Isaiah 30.